hear from you, sir. Who is Chief Ezeno to start with first?
I don't know the lot that has been said about
Was
him.
it
You know, common Nigerian and born common, put in my best as a civil servant, resigned, and started looking for what to eat and feed my family with.
okay? Okay, how was growing up for you, sir? How was growing up? Was it rosy? Were you born with a silver spoon, or you rose from grass to grace?
I,
Tell us.
I told you I was born common, which means no silver spoon. It's a pity I lost my younger brother just not up to 1 week now.
So sorry.
When I was addressing people, I told them it's a pity he's the person to go because we grew up together. He was more popular than me. People knew him. I was a very quiet person, naturally quiet. But in school, I became really, really, I don't know what I say, whether rough or, but I grew up in a quiet environment.
What about your parents? What will you say about them?
What am I going to say about my parents? They were not millionaires either. If they were, I should have been born with a silver
As
spoon
well.
in my mouth. So, but I give kudos to my parents. They had us 11. You say, wow. We're seven are left alive, four have gone. I'm the first of the 11. My younger ones, four of them have traveled abroad. My parents tried. I still look at them and call them heroes and heroes. If they fed 11 of us, because and then at least gave us school start. Those of us that came first, I took care of the younger ones when I started working.
Okay.
You know, in those days, it's not like now that you must have your university degree before you can get anything meaningful. After school start, jobs were waiting.
Then,
Even as a teacher, they had a program, auxiliary teacher program. So it was a good day. So, but I started with the Ministry of Education
okay.
as a clerk.
Then,
Another way of measuring what one had in those days was if you had all your papers, if you credited that you have six subjects,
okay.
you could be employed as a clerk. But if it is, and that is level four. But if you didn't make all your papers, you you start as an assistant clerk. So it was called assistant clerical officer
Officer.
and clerical officers. So with that, I was able to
Which state then, sir?
Anambra State.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
With that, I was able to further my education and then started helping my parents. My father died quite early in 1989, and my mother died about 3 years ago. Yes.
Okay. So, how was the journey into the solar energy came up? Was it a dream you've had over the years? How did the journey came up?
When I left, actually, I worked for NITA,
Okay.
P&T NITA,
Okay.
and I worked for 30 years and
With P and T
decided,
90.
yes, and decided to start something on my own. I
Okay.
could only but continue with my line of training.
Okay.
So we went to internet backbone provider.
Okay.
So after some time, I told myself, how long are you going to be? Okay, it was when I left night and now that I said no, I have to be, I have to look for something for myself. Otherwise, government will use you until you become useless.
Yes.
And I delved into internet backbone providers.
Okay.
From there, we worked for some time. I started that 2008, and last year I said no. Let me see what 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 do you call it again?
So
Solar will provide.
correct.
And we just started. We were quite young, but we have made some incursions.
Okay.
I looked at the ongoing situation in the country, the NEPA issue.
Vision.
If you want to sell your drug, you look for drug that will deal with the present situation. So I said, okay, let's go into solar. I retrained my staff, and that is where we are to help ameliorate the suffering people go through because of NEPA. And then to contribute my quota also.
We were talking about the how you ventured into the solar system, solar
Yeah,
energy.
one is necessity,
Okay, sir.
two is interest, three is the prevailing circumstances. When you cannot look at me now, I'm enjoying. I'm in the comfort of my house, you know, enjoying my AC, the lights, no fuel wasted, no noise, no maintenance, generator maintenance. So after looking at all this, I thought this is the end thing, and for sure, solar is taking over. It's still very very expensive, but somehow we are getting around it. Like me, I told my engineers to develop certain things that will make it cheaper. In and we are working towards that. I've sent we have sent a design to China to help us, put together those things we think that will make it cheaper. I better pass my neighbor. Is as for me, get me online again.
Okay, what's it? Because okay.
Just about 3 days ago, we were talking, trying to prospect somebody, and we used I better pass my neighbor as example.
Okay.
And my wife said, better pass my neighbor is 9,500. I said, which one?
Yeah.
I better pass my neighbor.
Yeah.
And you discover that running that, you discover that running that becomes idiotic. I better pass my neighbor. Why should you be wasting the fuel, the generator, risking the noise and all that? When what I will install for you If we do cost benefit analysis of it, you recover a better pass my neighbor in 3 months or two save. And then you start enjoying
Yes.
something that may be on your neighbor will not even know that you are running on your AC. So they're not in the same class at all.
So,
Free of charge. Nobody's asking you to pay for being on for taking away some problems for the country. You get what I mean?
yes, yes.
So that's some of the things that push me into saying, okay, let's start with this, and then employment. Employment. After training them, about three people left. I didn't collect any penny from them. They were my old staff, and they left. They are very soon they'll be competing with me.
Imagine.
So I am not that type that work for money. I make what I feed my family with and carry out my small problems. Not not the type that go for. I did a comparison.
Okay.
We do some comparison. What I will install with 2 million.
Okay.
I have seen sister companies that are installing with 3.12 million, and we are trying to make it cheaper still.
Okay. All right. So how challenging was it for you at the initial stage when you were starting?
There's no business that you start that is all
Yes.
good. There must be challenges. You pass through the tutelage stage. You, especially now that we don't have all the required staff. I don't have all the required staff because of finance. But in due course, we will be able to. You cannot reach credit. I once took some money from a bank I have not mentioned, so the customers don't run away. Man, they kept collecting money from me, collecting and collecting, until one day I closed my eyes and asked the woman how much. I took 3 million only, but I paid over 5 million. So I don't go that side now, except things like BOI and Co. If you can see financing from them, you may wish to partner. There are a lot of things to be done. I'm a retiree, as I told you.
Yes.
I don't live on any other thing. The small I even saved when I started practicing on my own, when we were into internet backbone, I squandered in politics. Yes, I want to use that word, squandered. It's the venture you go into and you'll be putting money,
This one.
putting money. You won't reap anything. They will only steal your
Really?
money. They keep telling you, you are there, you are there, you are the person going until the results are out.
Okay.
So my wife has been giving me a hell of problems. She has been taunting me, say, daddy, they are starting another election. Are you not going? I will just look away. So that is it.
Okay. Okay. Looking at the way a lot of individuals in this country are benefiting from, importations of these generators, especially the smallest one, which is hazardous. Do you think the government can make solar energy survive to a very large extent in this country?
If it is a country that makes things work, this is pure. Don't even talk about clean energy and all this. This is a sure way of making NEPA work. Let me use NEPA. If a lot of people go into solar energy, NEPA will have surplus to sell to their big customers. They will concentrate on industrial use. That's my thinking. So it becomes imperative that the government should be able to make some laws, put some laws together that will enable the solar energy providers survive. The importation, what do you call it? Um,
Discrimination.
no, those ones. I don't look at it again. My own has not run in the last 6 months. Okay, in the last 3 months, let me be very conservative. I don't need it. You see. So when you pay import duties, if they can grant some waiver on duties paid, then things come in cheap. People will be able to get the solar cheap. It is free there up there. Just the initial installation is what you look for. And then your phone is there, your generator is
So, how solar energy to, for an average Nigerian?
initial installation very hard.
Okay, like,
But over time you discover you've been wasting time on generator.
okay,
Though it depends on the interest.
okay,
If you say very high, depending on what you consider cheap.
okay.
Immediately you mention solar, the average person will say, my friend that did it now, wow, the thing no work all day. But there are things that made them not working.
Oh, okay.
Wrong installation or wrong demand. And the expert will not tell you, no, don't do this. If you do it, okay, cheap. But at the end of the day, it will give you your services. So we that are in the field know what to do, but nobody has complained come to me to say it's not working.
Oh,
Since I look at Philip here now, we went to his house at to to put some things together. He needed, you must describe what you
what
want
you want.
before we design.
Okay. So, you were talking about your venturing into politics. What gave you
Ah,
that?
that should be in the passing. That should be in the passing. But it is a pity that people with good intentions don't win elections.
Elections.
I was telling them, look, I don't have any godfather. I and you have a contract. When I get the money, we share. And that was what I was telling them. I said, we share. Your own will be in whatever we are going to do. You are supposed to have this culvert built. If you invest, wouldn't you recoup? So if you have somebody as your godfather, you will get some back now and give him and pay him instrumentally. That is part of our problem. And I don't know why we should not allow private candidatures. If I sponsor myself not belonging to any party, I don't know how chaotic it's going to be. But that's for sure will give the electors an alternative. If I sponsor myself, nobody is backing me, and B sponsors himself too or herself, definitely the money you will pump in will be in the minimum. But when the money bag is sponsored, I'll put the money there because see, or she knows he's going to recoup it. So that aspect is not very enjoyable or palatable for our politics. And that is why we are still where we are. Those who are ready to work don't have the money to throw about. So they go, one godfather comes around, takes up the responsibility, and then expects you to use the constituency's fund to repair him. And you must do that. So no projects carried out.
So it seems you don't really want to talk about the politics aspect. It seems it's not palatable to you. Okay, away from that.
From
Okay,
politics.
away from that. Now, the
I
solo
want to
work
talk about employment.
employment. Okay, go on.
If you had, this is one of the things I was looking up to do,
Okay.
sponsor a bill that will regulate employment. If people should be made to retire, you leave service
Yeah.
after 25 years. Add to your age, you maybe started at 20, 25 to you are 50. You go and venture into another thing. My idea is that say the government will be able to sponsor the money they pay you will be able to set you up. You go into other fields and children will come up again. Instead, we keep increasing the same teacher. They will now teach for 65 years. It was only my wife's friend when they say teachers in Lagos State will go 65. She said, "Oh my shell, they want to push me on truck." So he said, "No, Malake, they will use to carry me to classes." And like my wife, like me, we left before the statutory retirement age or year of service. It's part of the things we can do to get younger people employed. You at 50, go do something that will make you employ two or three other people. And then the space will be there. That's my idea. If who is going to listen to you? There is a project I did. I wrote to Goodluck Jonathan's President Goodluck Jonathan's office. Who was the speaker? David Mark. I sent to him, and that is what I called. The reason I'm talking about it is that I have the franchise.
Okay.
I have the what do they call it? The patents. It's there. This is something that will employ more than 700,000 people. It's there. I call it PEX, Party Exchange. That is what they are doing now. If you want to name your child or you want to do your birthday, you go and print money, print currency that is having your picture. It is my patency. One day I'll start arresting them. Yeah. This is what if the government adopts that will employ up to 700 people or 700,000 people. Nigeria frustrates a lot of people.
Yeah. Okay, so I want you to talk about where is your solar energy um, company located at?
My
The
office is down there.
address. Okay.
My office is there.
Mention.
It's an about 13 Majekodomi percent.
Okay.
We
Majekodumi Crescent.
Ekotu,
Ikot.
irregular state Ekotu. We are not into yet importing a lot of things.
Okay.
We, as I told you, we are designing cheaper classes of the equipment so that people will be able to buy. Our first set of design has not come back. As we keep working, the engineers will think of things, we sit together and say, let's develop something. And we look at how to go, you know, around it. All these ones are no person will design them.
Okay.
That's our motto. It's just yeah.
Okay. So, how do you think the government can wage in, to encourage entrepreneurs in this solar energy field?
You know, I think the government has not actually thought about, or our this in, I don't know whether we look at people based programs. I hear of how people outside, when their fuel would go up, like in Canada,
Okay.
the government gives car owners some money in order to buy the same fuel. If it comes down, they remove it. That is where you plan people oriented programs. Will it work in Nigeria? Oh. So the only way to encourage people is remove, make it import free,
Okay.
duty free, so that, or very minimal, so that people will go into it. The providers will be able to import their this is cheap, and then give to clients cheap also.
All right, sir. So, your name once again, sir. Your full names once again, sir.
I'm Ezeno Godwin Onyanwose Christopher.
Okay.
That's the common engineer. Ezeno
So,
GOC.